Another guy who's having a great year for the Mets so far is Brett Baty. Comes in as a pinch hitter yesterday and gets another hit. Batting average well over 300, 315, 750 OPS. I mean, he had some pop in the minors, and he just still does have pop, but I don't think he's going to be a guy who's hitting over 25, 30 home runs, especially this year. But if he's giving you these numbers all year, that's perfect. That's really good. So I love what Brett Baty's been doing. Is it sustainable? I don't know. Because last year he wasn't that great. But he was working hard in the offseason. We know that. We saw the videos with Lindor on the defensive side, and we've seen the defense kind of take a step forward this year already. And offensively, he's taken a major step forward. And if he's giving you these numbers, if he can keep that batting average above 285, I'd say that's what you want. You mean, he's not going to, like I said before, he's not going to give you 25, 30 home runs. So he can't be a guy hitting 240, 250, 260. He's got to hit like 280 up. And with this, I'm gaining confidence more and more every day when Baty steps up to the plate. He's got a great swing. People are saying he tweaked it in the offseason. And, videos do show that he did tweak his swing. I'm not going to say that I'm a baseball coaching expert and tell you exactly and break down his swing. People say he trains his swing, and the numbers show it. So that's that. Brett Baty, is it sustainable? More and more each day, I think it is. Francisco Lindor is slowing down. Should we be worried? I don't know. He started off the year hot. Let's go over his numbers right now. He's only got a home run so far in 12 games. 267 batting average, so it's not too shabby. 720 OPS, but he's a guy just a few weeks ago who had a batting average of 379 when he was in the Cincinnati series. So he was getting off to a great start. It's slowing down a little bit, but I don't think we should be worried. We saw it last year. He has up and down flows. Maybe he can kind of have less down flows this year and more up flows, and he's going to give you some pop. He's not going to be a 300 hitter. He's going to be a 260, 270, 280 would be great, but that's what he's going to give you, and he's going to give you 30-plus home runs this year. I still think Francisco Alvarez can hit 30-plus home runs this year, but Starling Marte hitting in the two-hole again like he did in 2022 when we won 100 games. I saw Eddie Presti talking about it last week on Mets Morning Brew or Mets Evening Brew. He's talking about it, how Starling Marte was kind of the X factor for the Mets in 2022 because Mets were playing great when they had him. He goes down, and that's when the Mets kind of started to go down. He was a great guy to have in that two-hole, hitting behind Brandon Nimmo, who's heating up too as well. Nimmo with an on-base percentage of 382 this year. That's the old Brandon Nimmo. That's the Brandon Nimmo that we need. I'd love to see Brandon Nimmo hit 25, 30 home runs, but at the same time, I want him to be the guy he was in 2022, where he got on base, worked the counts, fought off tough pitches, and he had that batting average up, had that on-base percentage up. His OPS is still going to be over 800. He's that good of a player. He's still got pop, but I want him to spray the ball over the yard and get on base. And then Starling Marte, he's doing what he did in 2022. 279 batting average, on-base percentage, not too crazy, but 346, that's really good. That's impressive. He's not going to give you 20, 30 home runs. He's not. But if he can get on base, if he can get hits, if he can get on base for Lindor, for Alonso, even for Francisco Alvarez once he gets going again, that's big. That's why you want Starling Marte in that lineup. You don't want him in the lineup hitting the bottom of the order. You don't. Starling Marte at the bottom of the order sucks because that means he sucks, and that means he's not playing good, straight up. If he stays in the two-hole like Anthony Volpe, if Anthony Volpe stays in the one-hole, that means he's playing good. If Starling Marte stays in the two-hole all year, that's going to be a great sign for the Mets. Because like in 2022, when he was good, the Mets were good. When he goes down, the Mets went down. Starling Marte and Edwin Diaz, in my opinion, are the two most important Mets this year. Two most important Mets. Because if they're healthy, if they have consistent numbers, Mets are set. Mets are set. So, like I mentioned, Diaz gave up his first run of 2024 yesterday, but he still got his third save of the year. Only one hit allowed, and that was a home run. I'm not worried. Ball's going to fly off the bat hard sometimes. If you make good contact on Diaz, he's throwing hard. He's thrown 98 to 101. And with a wicked slider, that touches even 94, 93. So if you make contact with one on Diaz, you're going to take it pretty far. That's just the way science works. So I'm not worried. The guy's given up 1 earned run so far in 6 games, 9 strikeouts in 6 games. 3 saves. Not a single blown save yet either. How many hits has he let up? 2 hits. 2 hits in 6 games. So Diaz is fine. Diaz is fine. Also, I put this in here too because Harrison Bader's hitting 302. I just want to point it out. I mean, we didn't sign him to be an all-star. We didn't sign him to hit above 300. We signed him to play defense and hit like 240 and steal some bases. So, but are the Mets in a good spot? I mean, yeah, 7-8 with the chance to go 500 today and take it up from there. I think they do. Now, the key for the Mets, get to the deadline at 500 or above, because then you can make a trade. This team's not going to win the division. They're not. The Braves and the Phillies are that much better. But they have a shot at the wild card. And they need to stay above 500 to make a trade acquisition that could help them get to the playoffs. So stay above 500, and that starts tonight. And going into this series against the Pirates, I mean, I'm looking at Adrian Hauser to bounce back. And then tomorrow we got who we got tomorrow? Jose Quintana, who got a pretty good start his last time, and then Severino. Severino had actually a really good start last time. Sevy put up some good numbers in his last start, and he needed it since his first start. He sucked. But 5 innings, only 1 hit allowed, 1 earned run, and it was a home run. 4 walks, so we do need to see the walks die down a little bit, obviously, but 4 strikeouts in those 5 innings. So, Sevy, I like what I saw. And against the Pirates, who are off to a good start, but they're the Pirates. Mets need to take advantage of this. They need to take advantage of this. Right now, they're doing pretty good in the pitching aspect of things. 7th in all of MLB in ERA with a 3.51. Pirates are actually 6th in ERA with 3.48. So hopefully we can take that step forward above them, and that starts tonight. So let's go Mets. Adrian Hauser on the mound. Got to see a good one out of him. Got to see a good one. And Doc Gooden, I got to put it up here. Finally in the Mets Hall of Fame. They retired his number yesterday. Good to see the Mets showing appreciation to guys who put up these numbers, and obviously a big part of that 1986 World Series. Won a Cy Young with the Mets.